Fire Radio.
Hey guys, Jeremy, National Fire Radio. Just wanted to hop on with something new I'm going to be doing is starting to put out some more of my thoughts out onto the podcast channel. So not just guests, but also my thoughts and my ideas and things that I've learned and so on. If you're familiar with my Bridging the Gap program, it's a generational conversation where we talk about the greatest generation, our World War II veterans, to today, Gen Alpha. And I break down the different generations and I talk about their generational values, which certainly contributes to the disconnect that we're seeing in our firehouses today. Not just in the firehouse, but in society. And so I thought it was important to put together that program. And in that program, I hit on a lot of topics that are whispered about or known in the fire service that we just don't speak up about. A lot of it has to do with poor leadership, accountability, integrity, character, honor. And I start the program out talking about my own story and, my own growing up from early years through college and into the adult that I am today. And it's been a journey. And I am a better person today than I've ever been before. And it's because of things like National Fire Radio that have really allowed me to hold myself more accountable than ever. If I'm going to put myself out there and speak about different topics and ideas, I have to know where it's coming from. And it's because of my past, colorful as it was, it allows me to form my opinions and ideas truly about something that I love, and that's the fire service. But in my program, I talk in the very beginning, I put a new slide in, and it's called At Arm's Length. And it has to do with when I'm talking about my upbringing in the fire service. When I was a little kid, the firehouse was somewhere special. It was a magical place that I wasn't just allowed to go to at all times. It was a place that was full of professionals. And this was a volunteer firehouse where my father has volunteered for over 50 years. And when he used to go there, when I was a little kid, it was his away. It was his ability to get away from reality of raising his family, working 7 days a week in a business he created. The firehouse was his escape. And they went there to play cards, maybe have some beverages, the camaraderie, the brotherhood. But when it was time to work, it was time to work. These guys would train and they would go to fires. And I remember as a little kid watching that, I was so mesmerized by all of the guys that were there with him, his friends, his buddies, his brothers in the firehouse. These guys were larger than life. They were pillars. They were 12 feet tall. And as a little kid, I admired all of them. And I still, to this day, have such fond memories of what the firehouse actually meant to me growing up. And I think today we've kind of lost track of that a little bit. And so the slide that I inserted into my program just a few weeks ago, it's a brand new slide. I inserted it in the part where I talk about growing up in the fire service, that the firehouse wasn't taken for granted by me. You know, we were held at arm's length. My father didn't just allow us to run wild within our firehouses. It was a place of integrity and honor and character, where I looked up to those that did the work there, the camaraderie, the laughter, the pranks, and then the work. And I think we're losing sight of some of that today. You know, families are absolutely welcome in the firehouse. Your wife, your husband, your children, your parents, whoever it is that's important to you. We want them to be a part of our fire department family, to understand where your time is being spent. But I challenge you that the firehouse has to be a place of respect and honor. And when it comes to our children, I was held at arm's length. If I wanted to climb on a fire apparatus, I asked to climb on the fire apparatus. Dad, can I go out and look at the trucks? Dad, can I climb up into the cab? Dad, can I climb on the hose bed? There was a level of respect, not an expectation as a child that I get to run and have free reign of this firehouse. I talk about the sticky finger, the ice cream fingers that these kids have sometimes. We can't just let them run amok. We can't let children with sticky ice cream fingers treat the firehouse with dishonor and disrespect. This is a place where serious work happens and the laughter comes along with that. The friendships, the camaraderie is all built on the hard work of those that have come before us and the hard work that you're putting in today. And if we allow us to lower the standard by inviting our families in and letting the children run around like a preschool or daycare or babysitting, We just can't do that. You're setting your children up for failure. The next generation in the fire service, when they become older, they won't have that respect, the honor that that place deserves. They won't understand the integrity that is required to do this job correctly. And so I challenge you, when we open our doors to our families or other people that come into our firehouses, this is a place of respect and honor. No more ice cream fingers climbing on the apparatus. No more pulling levers and just running amok and running crazy through the firehouse, screaming, running into the kitchen and grabbing whatever they want. This is a place where it needs to be scaled down, slowed down, so that our children understand the true meaning of what our firehouses stand for. I am very, very protective of those that have come before us. And the Bridging the Gap program is very much about that. It's finding that generational commonality, if you will, because there's such a great disconnect. And I'm in my generation of Generation X, we bridge that gap. We bring those generations together. Those old guys that are in our firehouses that are telling the stories, it's my generation, 48 years old. It's my generation to grab the older guy that's 90 and the young kid that's 18 and bring them together so that the stories can be told, so that they live on. The 18-year-olds, the future generations of the fire service, they have to understand our past. And then they have to respect that. Respect the blood, sweat, and tears that went into building the company that you're now a member of. Remember, we're all here for a specific amount of time. The firehouse will be here before us, and it will be here after us. It's what you do when you're there matters most. And so protect the integrity of those that have come before us, those pillars, those giants that I watched early in my childhood in the firehouse. When I got an opportunity to go to the firehouse and to spend some time there with my father, it was an absolute treat. And it was an honor. And at the time, I never understood why he did it the way he did. But today, I absolutely understand why he did. It created an unbelievable respect for the place. And so I challenge you today to make sure that our firehouses are a place of integrity, honor, and respect. That's how we build a strong generation, future leaders, future firefighters, our children. If they want to do this job, volunteer career, they want to do this job, at least they start off on the right foot by being raised correctly and appreciating all the hard work that has gone into that company. So anyway, some random thoughts. I'm going to be doing more of this. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love for some feedback. Shoot me an email at nationalfireradio@gmail.com or podcast@nationalfireradio.com. I forgot we switched it up. And I'd love to hear from you on this topic, and we'll be doing more of this. So thank you. And do me a favor, like I say at the end of every single episode, take this conversation, take it back to the firehouse and talk about it, because when we're talking about the job, we're making the job better. I'll see you at the next one. Jeremy, National Fire Radio. National Fire Radio.